because of that. Kind of like the it's like you have like two pieces of metal that you've joined together, right? But in that join, there's this one section that's, you know, rotted or that's rusted, right? So when that join happens, that spot weakens the join, and if you put too much pressure on it, it breaks. That's kind of how Zack. That's what Zack is for Cloud, right? Zack's presence in Cloud Psyche is that rust, and when you put too much pressure on Cloud Psyche, you have moments like that where he has like these weird freak out things and flashes of like weirdness that happen, and eventually enough pressure gets put on the Cloud that he literally breaks later on, and that'll happen in this game. Potentially, if they keep that scene the same, and you know what the one I'm talking about, Temple of the Ancients, if you know. And that's kind of what Zack is to Cloud. It's his presence in Cloud's ego is like a spot that Sephiroth can probe and poke at to break, to take control of Cloud, to break him mentally. And that is still there at the end of the game when Cloud faces Sephiroth, and kind of like his internal world at the end of the very end of the original game. That sequence happens way differently because Cloud wouldn't be able to fight off Sephiroth at that point. He would take control of Cloud. So that absolutely would do what Sephiroth's hoping. So this is interesting to see this happening here.
I thought we could just pick up where we left off, like nothing had changed. But I guess I was wrong.
Oh, there we go. Got freaking goosebumps from that.
Guess so.
Tell you why in a second.
I was so happy to see you again, but maybe I should.
Oh shit. Yeah, Cloud, you really did a bang up job there. Jesus Christ. And the guilt that Cloud feels, even though it's not even, it's guilt he shouldn't have, because he should have it, but not the way that he does, because he was not. Can we go in here? No. Okay. Oh, it's locked. Okay. Because he wasn't there for that particular scene. He comes in later, but he thinks that he could have prevented it from happening because he thinks he's Zack. So he has way more guilt than he should have, but he should have some guilt. And because of that, he's just not, you know, his perspective on those events and what happened and how they unfolded and how they impacted Tifa and him psychologically are different than what Tifa thinks happened, and in ways that don't connect together and cause this weird tension. But at that moment right there where they got the goosebumps that I did anyway, because I did, but that moment, they were calling out the fact that Cloud is different than Tifa remembers him being. And again, that's because, and again, this is more, you know, compounding evidence now for those that think that isn't how the game actually is because they don't understand the story. It's just further evidence that Cloud and Zack are merged kind of ego at this point. The way that Cloud acts and behaves and reacts to things is completely different from how Cloud actually used to be. Because he's not the same, he's literally not the same person anymore. He's literally an amalgamation of two different people. And everything that happens up until literally the Medell scene, way in the future of the game, of the story, like, you know, we're talking, in the original game, it's like, you know, if you're just rushing through the story, it's like 20-ish hours in. It happens in the third disc. Where up until that point, everything Cloud does, well, up until Cloud goes missing at the Northern Crater, but up until that point, everything Cloud does is influenced by Zack. And everything that how he reacts to things and how he interprets things is all influenced by Zack. And from that point onward, you're now dealing with the real Cloud. Which I think is why, you know, people saying that the story says that that Aerith and Cloud are supposed to be together and are always meant to be together, and that they were in love and all those kind of things. It's kind of, I mean, there is some truth to it, but there's also a lot of untruth to it because a lot of that's influenced by Zack's own feelings for Aerith. Cloud does develop, you know, really strong feelings for Aerith, but at the end of the day, a lot of that is influenced by Zack's feelings for Aerith. Now, Aerith absolutely does fall in love with Cloud. That does happen. And part of that is because she reminds him of Zack. So it's really easy for her to do that. That part does happen, but it's just like it's a super complex love square. It's not even a triangle, this one's a square. This triangle is a square. And it is crazy complicated, and boiling it down to simplistic, you know, shipper terms is, you know, reductive and ruins the story, to be honest.
You two fight?
No.
You two fight? No.
We have enough problems as it is. Copy?
Night. Tomorrow is another day.
Goddamn right. They both know. Never meet your heroes. Nice. Yeah, never meet your heroes, because they're the reason they're heroes is because you don't know them. If somebody's your hero and you know them, and you know them, and then they became your hero after you knew them, then that's, you know, a real hero. But if somebody's your hero and you've never met them before, they're not really your hero. You just have this interpretation of what they are and who they are, and what they've done, what they believe. And once you meet them, more often than not, they're going to shatter your self-delusion about who they are. This is what that whole saying is about. So yeah, Zack thought of Sephiroth as his hero, his personal kind of hero. He wanted to be like him. And then he actually met him, and I mean, to be honest, that also doesn't really apply. It's a funny kind of meme thing, but Sephiroth does go off the deep end. He actually is a hero. He literally is a war hero. He is what Zack believed him to be. And then he gets corrupted by Genova's influence. That's interesting. What's this?
What's this?
Yeah, I just asked that.
From our humble establishment. Though it may not look like much, it should help you to break the ice with those you meet.
Queen's blood?
Oh, the card game. Oh god. Oh my god. Find other players done with an icon on the world, challenging the matches. I wonder if we're gonna have if we're also gonna have whatchamacallit in this game too. Fort Condor in this game in terms of the game. Not the place. I think the place is actually the place, but I wonder if we're gonna have the mini game as well. That'd be kinda cool. Between opponents, okay, so basically it's similar to Triple Triad, the way that works. Yeah, let's go ahead and learn, because I feel like we need to go through this. Triple Triad's a hell of a game, really complex, and we'll see how this goes. It didn't seem as complicated as Triple Triad when I saw them like showing the basic demo of it, but we'll see what it actually is here. Alright, each player takes turns placing a card on the board in one of the 3 lanes, span left to right. First, try placing a card on one of the highlighted tiles adorned with an emerald pawn. Okay, so we have those over there. So is this like a cost? This pawn thing will represent a cost to use? Because this one has 2 and these have 1s. So I wonder if that's like if we have to have 2 pawns to be able to use this card on the board. Now I'm guessing the top right number is their strength. And then like the checkerboard is somehow they're influencing the tiles on the board. Alright. Yeah, it seems to be the case. Okay. Oh, interesting. So the yellow tiles are tiles that when you place the card, they add a pawn to those tiles. Does that mean essentially you're capturing the tile for you to use it? Once a card is placed, its power is added to the lane total. New positions will also be added to the board, which are tiles with emerald pawns, which you place. Okay, so you're capturing. So when you place a card, you're adding to your lane total, but you're also capturing other tiles for you to place your cards in. So you're essentially you have to be cognizant of your lane total, but also what areas you want to allow yourself to expand to. Okay. The odd number top part of the card is the power. Okay, yeah. While positions of the card are on the board indicated in the yellow squares to the bottom. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Oh, interesting. So next place a card, so one of the yellow tiles overlaps in one of your existing positions. So in other words, I need a card that will overlap one of our existing owned slots, like this. Okay. Yeah, so this one goes down and across. So this is like a corner card, basically. Top corner card. So it'll upgrade this one and this one, or take over these two tiles here. But if we put it here, we get we get essentially a 2 power slot, or a 2 cost slot. When your card when one of your cards' position tiles overlaps with the position you control, position comprises in rank. There are 2 pawns on the tile now. The position is at rank 2, and then we can play that Riot Trooper because it's a rank 2 card. Gotcha. Alright, cards can only be placed on positions equal to or higher than the rank, which is denoted. Wait, what? Oh, equal to or higher than the rank. So in other words, we can put a rank 1 on a rank 2 slot, a rank 2 on a rank 2 slot, but we can't put a rank 2 on a rank 1 slot. Okay. So you have to essentially build out tactically your position to increase the rank of slots to use higher rank cards. Gotcha. Alright, so now have a rank 2 position. Try playing the Riot Trooper on it. So that'll increase my lane total to 5. It'll increase the bottom row to a rank 2, and we'll... Oh, interesting, yeah, see, it captures that middle slot, so now we have this as ours to use. Whereas before, it's owned by red, by the opponent. So, taking control of the middle is really important, I guess. When one of your cards overlaps the position of the opponent, you claim that position as yours, however, claim position does not raise the rank. And I'm assuming they can also take it back from you if they have the right card to do so. They have a rank 3 down there, down. You can keep track of who's winning in the lane by looking at the points total on each side. Numbers of left your power, the ones on the right represent the opponents. You may notice that some cards have tiles with red borders. These are tiles that are affected by the card's ability. Okay, so some cards have special abilities, and tiles that have are red are affected by that ability. Okay. In the event that you cannot place a card, you can pass. So when both players pass consecutively... Okay, so once both players can't play anything, the game ends, and then the winner is decided, I guess. Interesting, okay. Well, I'm going to put something in this middle row here. Oh, here's one that has... Raise the power of allied cards on the affected tile by 2 while the card is in play. So we can upgrade this to a 7. Well, the row to a 7, but we upgraded to a 5, yeah. Now it becomes a rank 3. And I can play this magic pot on that slot. And this is going to improve the values on those two cards because everything around the magic pot gets a +2 on the four corners. So this would be a really powerful card for the middle right here. Or over here too, for that matter. We're going to put it there. So we're going to lose the bottom row, but we're going to secure the top 2 rows. So basically I think this means we won, right? So here's the question, do we take the total of all the rows, or is it just the ones that you won that count for yours? We can't play anything, so we're going to pass. Once the game is over, each player scores tabulated. Only the player with the higher power in the lane has their power added to it. Okay, so you have to win the lane for the score to count. Since we lost the bottom row, so that's not going to go in, so we're going to get 17 total for our score. And the opponent's only going to get the bottom row scored for them, so we definitely won. Okay, this game is not as complicated as Triple Triad, but it's still pretty complex. At least not yet. We'll see if there are other rules. Like, do they have sets of rules that determine things? And some of the cards go even further up. Like, there's one of the cards had like a 5-row thing, so the board must expand at some point. They aren't in here. Okay. No, Tifa's over there. Kalm looks insane. In the original game, Kalm is like literally 3 screens or something like that. That's all it is. It seems like it's way huger than that.
Of course, this is only the most recent in a series of crises. Multiple reactor bombs.
Wait.
Followed by the fall of the Sector 7 plate, culminating in this unprecedented destruction, caused by a massive tornado which swept through Sectors 0, 1, and 2. After a briefing with Shinra investigators, Mayor Domino released a statement, declaring the tornado to be, quote, weather warfare, perpetrated by the infamous insurgent group known as Avalanche. The administration also suspects the involvement of Wutai, and has begun investigations into the matter.
So I think that's confirmation that these events are happening parallel. Right? I think that's more confirmation because
Of course, this is only the most recent in a series
that's
of crises.
pretty much what happens during Zach's scene at the beginning. The reporter reporting out that. So it sounds like that only the best beer sold here. So it sounds like that, yeah, they're confirming. It could be a red herring, I don't know, but I don't think they would do what, I don't think they would have it be in the same timeline, because it would break a lot of things. Does that mean that we have 2 different groups of people that exist in this timeline? You know, though, here's the thing, though, thinking about it, it could make sense. So here's the reason why. Whenever you have, so this is like this is not real physics.
Looking spick and span. Don't want to let Broden down, especially after he insisted I focus exclusively on cleaning.
Yeah. Guy said, dust everywhere. Make sure you clean stuff up. Anyway, so this is like a story writing kind of thing that mechanic that they use. This isn't like a real thing about time travel and how time travel works, like actual physics. But in story, like the way they write stories in terms of like how does it resolve the paradox of having two people in the same place at once, right? If you merge two different timelines, is that one of the people from those merged timelines dies. It's like if you have two versions of Cloud, one version of Cloud dies. Now, here's the thing though, we don't see that Cloud from Zack's timeline die. Everybody else does. Like for sure we know that Red's probably dead. We think probably Tifa and Barrett are dead. Aerith might be dead. What if these timelines have merged and those characters die? Of course, Cloud would still have to die, though, in order for this to be true, so I don't think it's true. But, theoretically, maybe. Because technically, if you think about it, remember, we said Cloud isn't really Cloud right now. He's an amalgamation of Cloud and Zack. So, theoretically, if you wanted to twist the writing mechanic around a little bit, you could say that, well, you can have two Clouds because Cloud is Cloud and no longer Zack Cloud. So it could potentially be the same timeline because the characters that are still alive might have died. They're alive here with us right now have died in Zack's timeline. Potentially Aerith, heavily kind of inferred that she's died. Inferred that Red's died. Inferred and suggested that Zack. That I keep wanting to say Zack. Goddamn. That Tifa and Barrett are dead. So all the characters that are currently alive that are themselves have died from Zack's timeline. So theoretically, Zack could be alive in our timeline. Cloud could be alive in our timeline, and this Zack Cloud is still alive because he's not really Cloud anymore. So it could theoretically maybe be the same timeline. That is a possibility. It's just as possible that it's in separate timelines and they're happening in parallel. I'm not sure which at this point. We'll have to see how things unfold.
Good morning, sir. I must apologize for not introducing myself to you earlier.
Broden.
I'm Broden, the owner of this inn.
I think this is a new character.
Companions have all stepped out.
At least he wasn't a very prominent character in the original. He isn't.
You missed roll call, soldier boy. Luckily, you're on leave for the day. Don't waste it, though. Get your equipment checked ASAP. Sounds nice. Perhaps a trip to the arms dealer is in order?
Barrett.
Good idea.
By the way, Cloud, do you have any folios on you?
Yeah.
Oh, this is the
In that case, you might also want to pay a visit to Magnata Books.
I think the folio system is like the sphere grid system, if you will.
And their resident scholars are remarkably talented. If you want to unlock the true potential of your folios, you should go see them. The first customization is always free.
I wonder if they're going to lean more into Barrett's history, his background of being in the Corel resistance. Because they make him sound a lot more militaristically inclined in this game. Which would be in line with the character as portrayed in the original game. As wrote up there. But yeah, so it could be either split timelines or a single timeline at this point. I'm actually not sure anymore. Both make sense now.
Finally. Rough day yesterday, huh? You've been waiting for me? I've been waiting for a chance to thank you properly. Without your help, I'd still be in Hojo's clutches, trapped in that lab. Was nothing. Even so, I owe you a debt. Until it's paid, I'm going to
So it's getting torn up from not being used to talking for a long time. The downside of not streaming for a while.
Oh, if you're getting your equipment checked, have them check mine while you're at it. Sure thing. The rook's got a backbone.
The Rook's got a backbone. Overcoming challenges, helping people in need. Deepen prize bonds, thereby increasing party level. Highest level is, the more skills and abilities will be available. Okay, so party level improves the folios. Gotcha. Well, Tifa's right here, so let's go talk to her. Neutral? Oh, that's right, we had this system for the relationship system for the date. Gold saucer now.
Morning.
Morning.
Everyone's kind of off doing their own thing.
I noticed.
Say, this tank remind you of anything?
Looks kind of like the water tower in Nibelheim.
Right? Weird to think how much it meant to me back then, when I was still there.
I think that was not the right option. So, in terms of like the date scene, I think it was the more realistic option. So I don't think that after the interactions that they had, right, that Cloud would be trying to rizz her up, if you will. But this initial run, we are going to try and do Tifa for the date. But I'm going to do all the different characters we can do at some point. Because we're going to be playing this game a bunch, probably. I'll be playing through this a bunch of times. Let's see. Cloud's L1 to combat still in store 2. You gave us such as happy or very happy. I guess. L1. Oh wow, that's interesting. So like L1. Or no. It didn't actually do anything. L1, L2, R1, R2, no.
This is such a quiet, peaceful town.
Something to do with the drop-in mall.
Feels a little weird to be taking it easy, though.
Yeah, I guess I could see that.
This is such a quiet, peaceful town.
And just look at this place, though, man. This is nuts.
Reactors are terrible for nearby farmlands, which is why I'm glad we get our Mako from Midgard. Let them deal with the fallout while we reap the benefits.
This Mako tank allows us to live in comfort with every modern convenience. Our supply of Mako comes to us all the way from the great city of Midgard through a giant pipe that travels both above and below ground. The tank itself is modeled after Kalm's old Republic-era water tower and is one of our town's most famous landmarks.
Old Republic era. That's, never heard of the, like, Republic era before.
The clock tower next. Hey, do you know what's going on in Midgard? One day I'll be telling everyone how you made it a soldier. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a soldier and fight bad guys.
This guy's got a Buster Sword.
Start training hard now, or I'll never make it. Ugh, I hate when he talks like that. It's so embarrassing.
Technology sure has come a long way since our younger days. Hard to think we got by without Mako.
Honestly, I don't know where we'd be without Shira. Life is so much better now. I was really looking forward to going into Midgard this weekend. That materia pop eating contest was my chance to try the flavors I haven't yet.
And what about next week? They're bringing back that limited edition Titan Pop. You liked that one, didn't you?
Thing is, I gotta finish it. But that one's so big that by the time I have, I'll be way too full to try any of the other types.
What the hell?